May profits be upon you. We've already discussed in the other video the my weekly forex forecast uh, that goes over the indices, gold, silver, and U.S. and U.K. oil. We've already gone over the U.S. dollar index, but to review, I am bearish right now on the the US dollar index because there's bearish structure there. I mean, you just can't ignore that. You know what I mean? We have a swing failure here. This is the high. We have a lower high and a lower low. All right. I'm looking at this. Boop, boop, boop. Lower high, lower high, lower low. I mean, we're slowly turning over. There's hardly any discussion. And uh, on the daily, you can see that there's a bearish fair value gap here that price just traded into. Last week, I said we were actually here on Friday, and I said it's going to be bearish, and I'm looking for price to take out this low, and we can start to pull back. That's exactly what happened. That's what went down, and we're pulling back into this fair value gap, and I'm looking for price to find lower prices after that. However, now there's something to be worried about. See all this news down here, right? This is for U.S. dollar. And one of them is going to be on Friday. I mean, on Wednesday. Can I get it? Core inflation rate. All right. That's what we're going to be looking at. CPI. We're going to be looking at CPI. And if the numbers come in hot, then the US dollar is going up, and we're going to break this fair value gap, this bearish fair value gap, and we'll take out that high. All right. But if the numbers come in where it doesn't hint towards a comeback, a resurgence of inflation, the inflation rate, then the US dollar will continue to weaken and will be bullish in the pairs that are trading against the US dollar. Let's move on. Euro US dollar. All right. Because this is the inverse of the US dollar index, where I'm thinking things will be more bearish. I'm more bullish here. All right. We took out this high. We only wicked through it, which means what? Price isn't finished with business down lower, right? And what did we pull back into? A bullish fair value gap right here. All right. And I'm looking for price to stabilize here, to find support here, and to continue higher. Now, it may do some the side straddle hop here. It might do that up until Wednesday. But I do believe that with the respect being shown to this bullish fair value gap now, all right, and the one that came previous to that, all right, price is showing respect to that bullish structure. I'm looking for prices to be higher. That high go higher. That's pretty reasonable, isn't it? Okay, all right. Let's look at uh, the British pound now. If we go to the weekly real quick, I'm not as bullish on this one. Why? Because we did take out the high. We traded through that high. We traded through that high. Okay. And which usually means price is done. All right. A little different than what we had here. All right. Looks like price isn't done with lower pricing. All right. On the euro. But as far as the British pound is concerned, on the weekly, we price chop down, leaving some small fair value gaps into a these are bearish fair value gaps into this bullish fair value gap. If price closes below this bullish fair value gap, all right, on the weekly, if we have a weekly close below this fair value gap, we're going to hit this low here, all right, which would expose lower prices because that would constitute a break of structure. What is that? A break of structure here. All right. And if we go below that, I'm looking for price to hit one of these fair value gaps and then continue down lower. And we're going to see how price, uh, you know, how it develops. But right now, we are respecting the bullish fair value gap on the weekly. And if we refine it here, on the daily, you'll see that we we are right at the edge of closing below, and then we started to see some support being found. Okay, I need that support to continue. I need that high. I need the prices to hit that swing high. Look at these highs here. Does that look like a little resistance liquidity run to you? Kind of does to me, because the highs are near each other. And as far as liquidity targets, these are easier than this one. Okay, so we're going to see. We're going to see. I'm bullish. I'm bullish. And we'll see if Wednesday changes things. If we see a close on a daily basis below this low, well, then you know we're heading down lower. You just know it. That's it. All right. We'll find out soon enough. On as far as the Aussie dollar. All right, Aussie USD. Uh, you can see it's bearish, right? Until we sweep that low. All right. We didn't sweep the lowest swing low, but we did sweep a very important low. You know how important it is because there are swing lows on either side of it. All right. And this is an important intermediate swing low. So price sweeps that low, and you see that big wicket left behind. There's a lot of bullish fair value gaps in that on the lower time frames, folks. It's going to be hard to fill that wick. All right. So I am looking for prices to come down maybe to about 50% of it and then continue higher. Don't look at this. Don't even pay any mind to that. All right. So I'm looking for prices to continue higher. There is a bearish fair value gap here that price is already traded into. What did I do here? All right. Come on. Work with me. Thank you. Thank you. All right. You're doing the banana splits. Okay. What is this? All right. All right. So I'm looking for, I would normally look for lower prices here. All right. I would, but I'm not. This very bullish candle here is you know just it's pointing, it's just turning things bullish to me, and we will see how price reacts here. For 2 days, it may be bearish until Wednesday, and then we may see price turn around. We're going to watch this. You're going to be patient with it. Don't just jump into sells or buys. We're going to be patient. We're going to be patient with it. I'm thinking that price may pull back a little bit and then continue higher here. So, uh, I don't want to jump ahead of the US dollar index and the news that comes out for the interest rate. All right. That's going to be very, very important, and it could impact the US dollar insofar as reversing the market. So we're going to be patient with this. All right. But this is a very bullish candle. All right. If we go to New Zealand dollar, there's a note I left up here. Why? All right. Let's see. That was on the daily. This is from the last video from last week. All right. I didn't trade the New Zealand dollar, but I said if price reaches this preferred bearish fair value gap, this would be a great place to take a short from. This is a great place to take a short from. All right. But it requires the US dollar to gain strength. So we're going to be very careful of that. We're going to be very careful of that. All right. I'm getting rid of that sign right now. All right. Why? Because look, we swept this low. We swept that low, but it didn't trade through it, which would mean lower prices are to come. All right. This sweep means that price is not finished with higher business over here. All right. And what did price do? It went higher. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for price to see how it went into premium price of this trading range. This is the trading range, right? Price came down and we're up. All right. This is, listen, don't pay attention to that. All right. All right. In this trading range, price is making its way from discount into premium prices. I'm looking for price to visit, to revisit down in these in the discount prices. Can I get to it? Can I get to it? There it is. All right. And I want to see. I was wrong. Uh, I want to see if price makes it down to this candle, finds support, and then continues higher. This is when I'm going to watch. All right. It's showing respect to this fair value gap, but it's not strong respect. It's going to. I'm thinking that these fair value gaps are going to fail. Thinking that there's a chance that they fail. I love the respect being shown, but I'm looking for follow through. And we'll see it Monday, Tuesday, and we'll see what happens on Wednesday. But Monday, Tuesday, we may see price just meander a little bit around here before it finds the direction it wants to go come um, uh, uh, Newsday on Wednesday. Okay. Now, look at the US. This is the CAD. All right. This is just the straight currency. All right. Not US dollar CAD, but it's actually CAD US dollar. All right. I'll get to US dollar CAD right after this. But what you want to see is that we've been trading sideways. Right. This is the weekly. We've been doing this for a couple of years now. All right. Since October 2022. And we're just now coming down to sweep these lows, the very lowest lows. All right, we took those lows. Was it was it a trade through? Does that look like a trade through to you? No. So what does it mean? It means it has business at higher prices. All right, we may be going back up to these highs, right? Because this is the consolidated range, right? We may be going back up to the top. So I'm preparing for that. Look how bullish that weekly candle was last week. That's a very bullish close. We have a bearish fair value gap right above it, and prices heading towards that bearish fair value gap. And we took a bearish fair value gap out along the way. Boom, it's gone. It's gone now. All right. So I'm looking for price to reach up and touch that fair value gap, and I'm going to look and judge the reaction once it gets there, whether it shows respect to it or not. But you can see, look at the size of these candles, and then we pushed up and up, right? What am I looking for next week? I'm looking for price. Stop it. I'm looking for price to come down to this bullish fair value gap that it created right at this swing high, find support here, and continue higher to that bearish fair value gap. Got it? A little bearish. We may do the side straddle hop until what do you call it? Wednesday CPI, and then we may just reach that bearish fair value gap. We'll see what price does there. Okay, we may reach it before Wednesday. So that would be very interesting to me if price reaches up here first and then turns around. So I definitely want to watch how price develops Monday, Tuesday. There's no news on Monday, so definitely that's a watch day. If you look at the US dollar CAD, we're doing just the opposite. All right, prices giving us that signature. Boom. I'm looking for price to come back up and touch that low, that swing low, and then continue to the bullish fair value gap here. All right. We'll see what happens once it reaches there. Will US dollar find strength and continue higher or not? We're going to find out. We're definitely going to find out. But I believe this week, this fair value gap is going to be tested. I do. All right. If we go to the US dollar, I mean, not the US dollar, but the Swiss franc. If we go to the Swiss franc, all right, this is just the currency, the Swiss franc. All right, you can see that it's been weak, right, up until May, and then over the summer it got stronger and stronger and stronger. Now, last uh, last week you can see we had a bearish week, but what did it accomplish? What did this bullish move the week prior? What did that accomplish? We came up to a fair value gap. We moved from discount to premium price of this trading range, top to bottom. All right. This is the place you want to take your shorts. This is the area you want to take your longs, below that 50%, that equilibrium. All right. And we made it back below. We went to premium and we went back into discount prices. This may be a fair value gap that we want to watch for sure, because if price goes through this fair value gap and we get a close on a daily basis below that fair value gap, hey, price is not going to hold. I mean, this fair value gap will not hold, and we're going to see these lows being swept. And this is a low resistance liquidity rundown here, folks. So it's something to watch for sure. All right. But outside of that, price is going to go into this fair value gap. Price is going to go into that fair value gap. And I want to see if this fair value gap holds. Again, that is a weekly fair value gap, folks. A weekly bullish fair value gap. Will it hold? Will it hold price? There's a swing high here to sturdy it up. All right. So I'm thinking there's a chance that it will hold, and uh, the CAD, I mean, the Swiss franc will outperform the US dollar. All right, but we'll find out on Wednesday. If we look at the US dollar Swiss here, the US dollar Swiss, for those who trade uh, CFDs, we're running into a fair value gap. We're showing respect to it thus far. From here, I'm looking for bearish price action. All right, I'm looking for the US dollar to get weaker and the US and the Swiss franc to get stronger, and I'm looking at this low as a target, and it's on the way to this one. When I see these kind of things, I'm looking at liquidity and whether price wants to, come down and sweep that liquidity. All right, but right now we have bearish breaks of structure. We have a very bearish impulse. We have the correction, and up until Wednesday, and then we could very well see uh, Thursday, Friday a push to take those lows. All right, we're just going to be careful and watch the reaction once it reaches there. Okay, if we go to the pound, the pound, yen. The yen has been very, very strong because of the Bank of Japan and their monetary policies. All right, and it's been uh, very bullish since July. All right, since the beginning of July. So you see how much bullish momentum it had, and it's swept this swing high here. We have a very big wick. You know what that means? I'm looking for price to maybe come towards this halfway mark and see if it will go any higher. All right, here's the deal. Uh, it left a weekly fair value gap here, a weekly bullish fair value gap last week, right? So I'm looking at straight up price just coming back to the fair value gap. Sorry, coming back to the fair value gap, and then continuing higher. That's it. That's it. Very simple. I think if there's a strong, high probability setup this for the week that's coming, I think this is it. All right. This is the weekly fair value gap, but this is the daily. If I can just get it right. All right. If I can get it right. There you go. Heck on it. I can't seem to control this thing. All right. All right. See how it comes back here to the a bullish fair value gap. So I'm looking for price to continue higher from here. That's it. Boop. And I don't see how I keep making those mistakes. All right. In either case, that's it. I hope you found the video helpful. I'll leave the other part of this weekly forecast. I'll leave a link for you. Have a good